What is up, guys? It is the Bluebloods here coming at y'all with our day 3 SEC Media Days recap. We had Clark Lee from Vandy, Jimbo Fisher from Texas A&M, Nick Saban from Alabama, and Mike Leach from Mississippi State today. So as our other two episodes, we're going to cover some of the biggest storylines, just kind of break down what went on today, give y'all a full coverage of what's going on over there in Hoover, man. So B-Dub, I know you said this guy kind of put you to sleep. We had Clark Lee, but, he didn't really say anything, that was too shocking. I know the number thing got a lot of people riled up for some reason. That's like the dumbest thing to be upset about. But I was also like, one of the biggest storylines was how much the players he brought, and Bradley Ashmore, offensive lineman, and Davian Davis, defensive lineman, were talking about Derek Mason and how great of a coach he was and how they supported him. So, one, what was your biggest takeaway from Lee's press conference? And, what did you think about how much praise that these players were still giving Derek Mason, even though, he's not even on the staff anymore. He's coaching at a rival at Auburn.
Yeah, you got fired. It's not like you just stepped down, you took another job, you got fired. So that was weird. That was definitely a weird thing to happen. I didn't have a whole lot of takeaways from Clark Lee. The coolest thing about his entire press conference is they brought out his helmet from when he played at Vanderbilt. And that was just up in front the entire time. They had that in an SEC helmet. But other than that, man, he didn't show the same kind of confidence that the other first-year coaches did, or half the confidence that the second-year coaches who didn't get to go to media day last year had. I don't know. And the bar may have been set like way too high by Shane Beamer. And even Josh Heupel. It didn't wow me at all. It's kind of to be expected from Vanderbilt football, I guess. I didn't really expect to be wowed, but I don't know. I wasn't. You know how on like 2 days ago on the episode when we talked about Shane Beamer, I was like, yeah, you can just tell he's going to be a great head coach, or at least a great motivational speaker for those kids. I don't see the same thing happening from Clark Lee. I don't have a lot of takeaways, honestly.
He seemed like he had kind of like that mindset of like, bro, I'm just going to bring my lunch to work, bro. Don't bother me. We got a job to do. We're going to get it done. And like, that's it. Like, he was like that also at Notre Dame, where like he wasn't flashy or going to impress the media, but like he got the job done. So I feel like, yes, compared to Beamer, compared to Heupel, and listen, as an Auburn guy, I'm telling you, Harson's going to win the media day tomorrow because he can talk. He understands what to do. But I think I never thought Clark Lee was going to win the media day, Brandon. What's going to happen is, can he win on Saturdays? And that's really my biggest takeaway. And it looks like he can. I do like, though, that the players, I get it. It's an old coach, but these are two senior guys who played under Mason Brandon for, their whole career?
Yeah.
And so there was, of course, going to be questions. I like what they said about him, especially as an Auburn fan. I loved it. But I like that they didn't try to, go out of their way to, not give him his flowers or anything like that. It's all respect. And, the Vandy is never going to be the talk of media day, Brandon. I get it. But I think it's going to be, they knew that, and they know they have to prove it on the field before people really are talking about what they're saying off the field. They knew they couldn't come in and impress anyone with flash or confidence, because it's like, how do you talk your talk when you didn't win a game last year?
Right. That's true. I don't really have a whole lot more to say about him, to be clear. You're right, and I can kind of respect the, come to work, do your job, go home, that kind of attitude. But that's not even really what I got out of it. I just kind of got like, okay, well, I kind of thought he'd bring something or some exciting news or anything, and he just didn't.
And listen, you got to earn your number on Vandy, boys.
Which is weird. That's like the weirdest thing.
It was weird that it became a storyline now, though, because he did it before spring practice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird that, that shows you how much people pay attention to Vandy. But,
yes.
Anyway. And, so we also got to move on to Jimbo Fisher, Texas A&M's head coach. And the biggest storyline from his is that the little jab he took at like the rest of college football, he said, he was asked about a name, image, likeness, Brandon, and said, quote, "Heck, some people have been doing name, image, likeness for a long time. They just ain't telling nobody. Now we're all on an equal playing field." Well, say it with your chest then.
Yeah,
Say it with your chest then.
I don't think Jimbo Fisher knows what name, image, and likeness is, because I think he's alluding to, like, because he used to work with Nick Saban. He knows about the Camaros. I think that's what he's thinking of. But I mean, has name, image, likeness really been? I know it's been done before, but not on like a huge scale. I understand that like Johnny Manziel had his interview where he was signing jerseys and stuff. And that's, I guess, kind of name, image, and likeness. And I think Eli was doing the same thing allegedly. So I don't know. I don't know if he's right about that. It was definitely interesting. At least he brought something to media day, unlike Clark Lee. So that's something.
And I also like that I liked how he used Texas in his like in-speech recruiting pitch, where he was talking about that all the resources the state of Texas has, all the big cities, all the opportunities that can come from it. Listen, if Texas isn't going to step up and build the wall around the state of Texas, then why can't Texas A&M step up and do it themselves? And they've been landing the top recruits out of Texas for a while. They've been out recruiting Texas itself. Texas A&M is going to have to take that next step and build that wall around Texas if they really want to go out here and win the SEC. And I think that's the message that Jimbo was sending there. And I liked his confidence. I liked kind of the mindset he had. I think he knows that they probably were snubbed from the playoffs, especially because I think they're better than Notre Dame. But at the same time, like, he's not letting that kind of get him down. Like, I feel like he has a lot of confidence coming in this year, Brandon. I think it kind of oozed out of him at his press conference.
Yeah, I think so. And he deserves to. He's one of the best coaches in the conference. And I mean, I'd probably even give him top 20 in the whole it's not even a league. What is it? In all of college football? I mean, he's up there, and he deserves it. He deserves to come in and have this confidence. I'd like to see him prove what he has at Texas A&M a little bit more, or I wouldn't like to see that. But if he's going to be confident, then I at least back it up, I guess. I don't know. Maybe Texas A&M will come out and shock everybody this season because nobody really thinks they're going to get very far. So I don't know. Maybe this is where it starts. Maybe this is kind of kickstarting it.
I like it, man. I like it. So I was very impressed with Jimbo. I liked kind of what he had to say. But I want to get to Mike Leach, man, because I feel like
this is fun.
I feel like that he's hilarious. Just him being Mike Leach is hilarious. But I thought a quote that he had was very interesting. And I want to get your opinion, and it's going to make a lot of people mad, and I don't care. Quote, "I think you still got to encourage guys to graduate because I think that in general things are better. Families, the individuals, the schools, the more people that graduate. Also, it's got to be less tempting to hit the transfer portal if things don't go your way. I was talking to a good friend of mine, and we were bouncing this around. What if, and this is a what if, there may be holes in this idea, but what if when you sign a guy on graduation from that school, they receive $100 to $150 grand upon graduation, and you only get it if you graduate. If you graduate from that school that you signed to, you get $150 grand.
I think. I mean, in context, the way he was saying it was that this kind of level, like, evens the playing field in a way. To where, like, it does discourage the transfer portal, because earlier in his questions, he stated that too many kids are in the transfer portal, because I believe that 1,600, this is just from his interview, what he said. I'm not sure the exact numbers are. He said 1,600 players entered the transfer portal this offseason, and 1,100 of those players are still in the transfer portal. So that is an issue. If those numbers are correct, that is an issue. That 1,100 athletes haven't found a home yet. And they haven't found a school they want to go to. And what has college football done except for turn the transfer portal into basically free agency? I think that Lane Kiffin literally called them free agents 2 days ago or yesterday. So
they are. I mean, that's what they are. Let's be honest.
That's what they are now. It honestly is. Just because it's the transfer portal has almost been weaponized, dude. So many people are using it, and so many people are using it as leverage. I could be gone tomorrow, and I could be on our rivals team, and I wouldn't have to sit out anymore. Come on, that's just what it is.
Yep.
And it is an issue that this many kids are still in the transfer portal. So his line of thinking is good in that he's trying to convince these kids that once they sign, they're going to stay, they're going to graduate. And we're talking to a guy who has his law degree in Mike Leach. He's a very well educated man, as he might be a little silly, but he's well educated and he values education. And I think that's part of it too. He wants these kids to be educated because, Zach, what are the numbers of kids that actually go on from college football to play in the NFL? It's not super high. I think it's like 2% of college athletes go on to play in the NFL. So I don't know, man. I think he's valuing a degree a whole lot here because these kids end up transferring a lot. Speaking from a kid who transferred in college, and I'm not an athlete. It takes a little bit longer to graduate when you do that. So I don't know. I think his heart's in the right place here. Yeah, the plan probably has a couple of holes in it. And this is probably something he didn't come prepared to talk about at all at Media Day today. That's just the kind of guy he is. He's going to bring up whatever's on his mind.
Bro, knowing Mike Leach, man, he had this conversation the night before drinking like a Corona at the hotel bar.
So I'm saying. It's ridiculous. But it was his entire interview was I thought it was great.
I think it's a great idea. And listen, I get it. And and there's no punishment. Like you said, you can still transfer, you can still make NIL deals. It's just you lose out on $100,000.
Yeah,
it's your decision.
Exactly. That doesn't hurt anybody. And I don't know.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I don't see why people would have a problem with it, but I know someone's going to have a problem with it.
Yeah, they will. And it's just because people have problems with everything. Not everyone can think the same about everything, and I've accepted that at this point in my life, Zach.
But listen, I like this idea. I thought it was an interesting take, and I'm honestly not sure how it will manifest, but I would love to see something like this. And it does have to be $100,000. And you can increase, decrease the money however you like. I just think it does offer a great incentive to graduate, get your degree. And at the end of the day, man, that's huge for a lot of these guys. So I'm all for anything that increases graduation rate. And I do. I really like it. And so, let's get to our last quote here, Brandon, or no, our second to last, my bad, because we got to get to one that connects to our SWAC Media Day coverage yesterday. But, a lot of people said the NIL, Brandon, was going to create jealousy. Mm-hmm. And we saw Bryce Young say, or not say, but everyone said Bryce Young's a millionaire now. And, Fedarian Mathis was there, the defensive lineman. He was asked if anyone's jealous of Bryce Young. And he said, man, at the end of the day, everyone's happy for everyone. This is something we feel, we all feel like we deserve. So, I'm gonna get my take real quick, Brandon. Then I'll let you jump in. I don't think everyone's gonna be like this, but what I think it does is this is like a self-reflection of what type of culture you built in your program. If you have people being jealous, trying to bring other players down, being salty about their situation, it reflects. It's like a mirror of that coach's culture. And I think it's just another mirror showing how great that Alabama culture is, how great of a coach Nick Saban is. And then it's like, man, how many more NIL deals? I think it was Miami that got the whole team on a deal, and they all get a cut from it. And, how long is it going to take for, someone like Bryce Young to say, listen, if I'm going to eat, everyone on my team's going to eat.
Yeah.
And it takes a grown man, and this is what the Alabama culture is. You got to be a grown man to be playing in Alabama to know that Bryce Young being a millionaire and getting all these NIL deals is good for you because it improves your program and your team. And it's just it shows how many childish, immature individuals you got in your program, man. And so I loved him saying that man, there's no jealousy. We all deserve something. And so I think this is a huge plus for Alabama, man.
Right. No, I think you're absolutely right.
I love it. But the last topic here, man, Deion's walkout got some attention, man. Man, the first question, like the first person who asked Nick Saban a question, I think he was the first, said, "I'm gonna call you Coach Saban and not Nick, if that's okay with you."
It was so wild. And then he went on to ask him like what he was going to call it. Like, do you have a preference on what you're called? And Nick Saban said, "I've been called just about everything, and I'll answer to just about everything." So just prove Deion 1,000,000% wrong. I don't know. The more I've thought about the Deion situation, the more like ridiculous it's gotten. Because
well,
now
have you seen the video?
Yeah, of him literally getting up and leaving. Yes, I have. So he just lied to everybody, and he had the audacity to keep the tweet up after that video surfaced. And
yeah, he posted the video today on his the video was from Deion.
I didn't realize that, man.
And he said he proved his point even more.
Nah, he's in some kind of like psychosis or something, man. I don't know.
I think Tom Green, he's an Auburn beat reporter. Since Auburn goes tomorrow, he was keeping track of how many times Nick Saban got called Nick, and I think it was like 8 or 9 today in his press conference.
That's the thing. He legitimately doesn't care. He cares about one thing, and that's winning. And if Deion was half as like committed to winning and playing great football as he was to, is my legacy going to be good? Then he'd be a much better coach. But Deion's always been like this, man. He's been like this since he's been a player. He's always been a diva, is what he's been.
Look, bro, listen. I think Scotty Allscript, go check his channel out, said today he was like, that's a coach calling you Coach Saban is different than calling you a nickname. He said, no, like who wants to call you Coach Prom? He said, go by Coach Sanders, like an adult, like.
And Nick Saban also made the point that everyone has the right to, have a preference to what they want to be called. And I'll be honest, while it was hilarious that immediately after Coach Prime said, don't call me Deion. And he said, okay, Deion. While that was hilarious, it was a little bit disrespectful. It was a little bit disrespectful.
No, it was. And listen, I might have got up. I'll admit it. But I think the reporter also felt disrespected because Deion lied to his face. He said, like, he called him a liar. Like, he was like, I've called Nick. Like, I've called Nick Saban Nick. And he's like, no, you haven't. No, you haven't. And it's like, dude, like, he reported for Alabama. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. That was ridiculous.
Bad, but guys, not important for SEC Media Days.
Sorry.
But it did relate. But guys, make sure to subscribe now, man. We are covering the final day tomorrow, man, of SEC Media Days. So make sure to go check out our day 1 and day 2 coverage. And go check out our live stream in which we cover SWAC Media Days. And last night, we dropped a breaking news special episode about Texas and Oklahoma possibly joining the SEC. So check that out. And if you're new here, man, subscribe, like this video, and go check out our SEC. And I believe it's 30 days. We got every team on there. We got a special interview. It's like a preview / we break down everything with the top voices of your school. So make sure to go check that out. But for B-Dub, myself, and the Bluebloods fans, signing off from day 3 of SEC Media Days. We'll see y'all tomorrow. But for right now, we are out.